Hello, everybody. This is Maniac 4 Bricks More with a little behind the scenes. Yikes. Yeah, I know it's a mess in here, but that's always going to get some progress. I'm really here as a behind the scenes, getting my thoughts out there about my bedroom, which has a whole bunch of Lego stuff in it. It is not the Lego room, but I do encourage Lego in here as much as downstairs, just not as much because I also have other things going on with video games and a little bit of quote unquote office space with computers, printers, other things going on. It's still a bedroom. At the end of the day, that's what's important in here. But I want to try to make this in a way that's going to work out a little bit easier and try to accomplish a couple goals. Some things that I want to make functional throughout the room. The Lego Beach Town that I have in the basement, aka Lego Room, has always been there, and not a lot of it has been developed in a long time. And mostly because I don't have the time for it, but also things surrounding it just kind of clutter it, and things just get piled on top of it, so it doesn't really get to shine. It doesn't really get to be what it needs to be. And I've had people over at the house before where there was stuff all over the place. There was like Avengers stuff that was in the middle of the beach. It didn't need to be there. It was never properly cleaned up, and it was just. I want to try to find a better space for it so that I can concentrate on having it in good condition and having it something that can flourish, something I can regularly update, and I also want to try to make the space larger. Right now, it's sitting on a 3 foot by 6 foot table, and then in an L shape, the lower half of the L is a 3 foot by 3.5 foot table. I have another table available that's about 6 foot wide, and I think either 2 to 3 foot wide. I forget exactly the measurement, and I have measured a lot of the furniture in advance. But I'm thinking with that table or two, I could expand the town if I move it into a new space. If I could move it up here, for example, where the 4 foot diameter table, the round table on the end there for the studio stuff, and all the way to where this computer desk is, that would be great, occupying that space in between. It would give me a lot more room. It would be a little deeper of a town. I want it to be a little bit more than just the train track, which does occupy a bit of space around a bunch of the roads and buildings. I want to give it a little bit more so I have more options available. Even though I haven't fully fleshed out that town as of right now, there's not a lot of options for me to flesh it out. There's only a couple pockets here and there that I could actually utilize. So if I gave it a little bit more space, I know it's never going to be like a huge layout like in other Lego cities. I just want it to be a little bit bigger and better than what I have right now. So that means furniture in here is going to have to move. And I've also wanted to move furniture in here already. My bed always needs fixing. And not only do the sheets just have an odd way of fitting on there, and they keep pulling back, a couple nights or so, every so often, but also the way it's oriented. I mean, I've moved the bed 2 or 3 times in the past year because I wanted to make that easier to fix the bed. And it's never fully realized that because now it has like two spaces open on the long end of it, where it used to have only one or two spaces open at best. But also, the window is not quite the best spot for it. Pillows seem to fall behind there regularly, and then if I try to sit up in bed, my head is hitting on the windowsill behind it, or my back is hitting the windowsill behind it, so it's not really that comfortable. I'm also not a fan of where the quote unquote nightstands are. I think it could be done a little bit better. And I also wanted to have this bed setup in conjunction with the video game setup. That way, I'd be able to play the video games while sitting in the bed instead of having a separate chair for them like you see in front of these. It's never really been at a good orientation for that. Even before, when I had the bed aligned with the wall, this was always a little bit slanted off to the side of it, so it wasn't going to give me the best view for that TV. I know it's not a big TV as it is, that's fine, it's for older systems. That's why I keep the analog TV here. But I have an HD TV next to it, so it could be used for more HD stuff. Anywho, I wanted to move that around as well. The round table, I don't mind moving, either folding it up and, rolling it into the garage entirely, not using it in any room, or swapping it downstairs and using it there instead. That might actually benefit that, so it'll give me a little bit more walk space around the Lego room downstairs. So, a couple possibilities. There's also another thing with electricity. Just try to make sure that things are wired appropriately. I have 3 outlets in the room. One of them behind the video game setup you see here, with a power outlet or 2 that's connecting the devices together. There's a power outlet behind the bed, which is mostly used for that. Or there's an outlet behind the bed with a power strip that's used mostly for the nightstand, quote unquote nightstand. It's a filing cabinet, but I still put stuff on it. Yeah. And then there's one behind the dresser. This dresser is very heavy. I don't want to move this thing. It is a dog to move, even if there aren't any clothes in it. And that only somewhat has things plugged into it. I think it only has like an alarm clock plugged in right now. I don't remember much else that's on that side. So a couple ideas have been tossing around. I've made several drawings and trying to map things out. Like I said before, I took measurements of different parts of the room and seeing, okay, what combination of things mathematically could fit together. I don't know the best solution right now. I've come up with like 4 different options and possibly more. I don't know which ones will be the most logical or the most comfortable. I've had ideas of moving the bed here to the opposite side of the room between my door and the closet, and that would allow me to have a straight shot to the video game section on that side with that wall outlet. I know it's hard to illustrate here with just pointing my hand around. And that would kind of make sense because then I'd have my bed closer to the dresser. It would be closer to the door, which I find awkward. I've never had a bed right next to the door before. It's always on the opposite side of the room. But it could work. And it would still give me what I need for that space. Being able to use the games on that side of the room, like directly across from the TV, or across from my bed. Freeing them up from this corner, and then I could fit the beach town in there. If I can move this space around, at best, I could get 10 feet wide and 4 feet deep of beach town right there. That would be amazing. And that would be much larger than what I've had before. It would be a different orientation for some of the tables, and I might have to move around what base plates that go on top of them, but it would be amazing if I could get that to happen. It would be so good. But I don't know how that's really going to line up with everything else. I might still have it. I don't know. Maybe it'll be easier trying to fit the bed, fix it regularly if it's on this side of the room, because it's not going to be crowded by other stuff next to it. It'll be right next to here. It's also going to be close to the closet, hopefully freeing up that space. Because, yeah, I know there's a lot in between I need to clean up. Hi, Shrek. I've also thought about moving the bed back to where it was before. So it would be adjacent to the window, and then having the video game set up on the very corner. So that way, again, I have it across from each other. That's fine. And wiring will work into that. I'll still have space in the middle of this for the beach town. There may be 1 or 2 pieces that would still be moved around, but that's still, I guess, 6 foot or so, maybe 7 feet. It's going to be a little awkward with that because it's not going to mathematically line up perfectly to fit another table next to it, but it might still happen. I'm not sure in that one. I'd have to go back to the drawing board on that. But I've thought about a couple ideas. I still have no idea what I'm doing. I do appreciate some people's help with it over through the Instagram and Twitter. So I'm slowly trying to figure this out. This does also mean changes to the Lego room downstairs. Obviously, the Lego room would be different without those tables in the back corner of it for the beach town. It may have the round table and therefore the quote-unquote studio. If I need a clean background, that's where I would do that kind of video, but they would still have the same lighting down there, just a different room or, change of where the space is. I'm trying to do it my best without trying to buy new furniture and just work with what I have. I have other pieces of furniture that are in the garage, and I haven't even gone through those options yet. which I don't want to worry about too much if I can make this stuff happen. It's like a big game of Tetris or Rush Hour or whatever. One of those puzzle games where you have to try to fit things in certain spots, so you can still have a walkway through. I think Rush Hour is the one I'm thinking of. Anyhow, that's been occupying most of my time in trying to prep things for 2020 videos. I know there's still other 2019 videos to work on, and I am doing my best with those. And I'm okay with holding on 2020 videos to get this stuff done between this room and the Lego room downstairs. If I can make those cleaner, I think it'll be a lot greater. It'll be more enjoyable for the videos themselves. Who knows? Maybe it'll be actually a room tour in this channel if that actually gets done. And I know you guys like your room tours. And it also means more updates about the beach town, which I'd like to do on the main channel, and other stuff. So thanks for watching. Thank you for your suggestions, input, and I'll talk to you later. Even if you don't suggest anything, it's just a good thought piece for me, throwing my thoughts out there.